Hi everybody, it's Michelle, and today I'm going to show you guys how I took a couple of my personal size planners, the ring bounds, and turned them into traveler's notebooks. This here is my Filofax Floral Burst in the personal size, and it is probably the most favorite planner that I have in my entire collection. And I would switch back to using it, but the problem with it was that it had these rings that were too small to hold everything that I wanted. So I kept switching back out of it. So I took the rings out, as you can see, and I turned it into a traveler's notebook. Now I can stuff more books in there and be good to go. It is not the one that I am currently using. I will show you that in just a second, but I will show you what I did to this Filofax right here. So right now I just tested out some book sizes, and these are the small composition books that I got at Walmart on clearance. And I didn't cut them down or anything, and they fit real nicely actually in here. It's much bigger than a personal size. With just these two books, it fits all the way to the edge there. And then my insert here with the card holders I took out because I don't need it in the other planner that I'm using. I have pockets for everything in that one. So this was the first one that I did, and let me show you how it looks without the rings. And I will explain how we did that. Unfortunately, I can't show it because we already did it. I did it on a whim, and my husband just drilled out the rings for me. We put in these screws, or they're snaps actually, from his leatherworking supplies to cover the holes that were there from the rings, just to cover that. And I used my hole puncher to punch my holes for the elastics and added the eyelet. I wish I'd had something that matched better, but unfortunately I didn't, and I will show you the kit that I have. I have this kit, this crocodile kit. The crocodile's not in here right now, but I'm going to have a full list of all the resources that I used on the blog post that goes with this video. So I do have a crocodile that is a hole puncher and also an eyelet setter. It's all in one, and it came in this kit with some eyelets and that type of thing. And this will be linked in the blog post, and you can see how I use that. So to get the rings out, they were here, and my husband just took some needle nose pliers and held, kind of jimmied it underneath there to hold that rivet in place, and took a drill. Let me see if I'm in frame. He kind of held it there in place and took a drill and drilled out the rivet that was in here, because these of course are not removable like the Franklin Covey. So as long as your drill bit is larger than the rivet size, it will drill out all those shavings, and then it'll just pop right out. I'm sure there's videos showing how to do that. I don't know if they do it the same way, but that's just the way that he figured out how to do it. So that's how we did these. And be very careful, because when you're drilling out, the metal gets very hot. So be careful when you're touching it, or you're going to burn yourself. And I actually got a little burn right there from a slip from the drill. But it doesn't show when there's books in here, so that's okay. So I just strung it the way that I normally string my fauxdoris, with 4 strings, the 2 holes and 4 strings. And that is it for this one. Let me put these books back in. I might actually use this one with these size books, because I kind of really like that. Having the larger books, just maybe to keep notes for something. Put it all back together. Okay, so it's back together, and I'm going to show you what I'm using. There's one more that one more binder that I really, really love but never used because the rings were just too small, and that is one of my daytimers, and that is this one here. I love this thing. It is lush, but the rings were just too small. Same issue, couldn't use them. It wasn't doing me much good for anything. But let me show you why I love this one so much, besides the fact that the leather is so nice and cushy. And I cannot find another one of these like on Amazon, There is one exactly like this, but it is not leather. But the layout is exactly the same, and there will be a link to that also in the blog post. But I love the double stitching on here. It's just so wonderful. It has a magnetic closure on this one. I was afraid that I would stuff it too much and not be able to close it, but that hasn't been an issue. I haven't really fixed the strings on here, put a charm or anything. I need to still do that. But for this one, I was able to use some more matching rip eyelets for this, which was good. And I put my charm on. I have everything in here. I love the layout of this book because it has all these card holders, so I'm able to put all my debit cards here. I have my ID here, and just with my stamps and that type of stuff here. And it has this zipper pouch where I keep my cash. So all of my wallet stuff is here now. It has these giant pin loops that are leather on the sides. It would fit my Unistyle Fit pins. And let me show you the back of this first. That's it for the pockets. There aren't any like large side pockets or anything. It's just the zipper and the card holders here. In the back though, it has two more card holders where I have insurance cards. And it has this huge slot here. So you can put in like a notepad or something, but I use this for my phone because my big Note 5 fits in there. Or you can put, you know, here's my iPod. I'll just show you. It slips in. It's just a large pocket, and it will still close even when my phone is in here. The magnetic closure, I don't have a problem with that. So I was able to fit one additional book in because I took out the whole card holder setup that I had in the other one. So now I have my art journal book, my Hobonichi Weeks, my bullet journal, which I did separate that out, decided to just add in a bullet journal, and then my little notes book where I just scribble in notes for anything and everything. And this is what I have been carrying around for the past few days. And I will go over my complete setup next week sometime when I do my One Book July 2016 setup video. But this, I'm just loving this. The only thing is, it kind of irks me that when, see, it closes real nicely, but there's so much left of this here. Now I figure I could stuff more books in, and of course that'll push it over that way. But it gives me plenty of room to put pins here on the side, and it's really not that bothersome with all that extra room. But I love this planner, and I'm so glad that I'm able to be using it again because I can have everything in there that I need, and it's just great. And it was the same process with removing the rings, just using the needle nose pliers, a drill, and drilling out the rivets there and popping it off. This one we did have to do an extra step because there was a little metal piece behind here inside of the planner, because this is a doubled up leather, so we had to cut a little slit and pull that out, and then we just glued it back down to glue that closed. But the good thing about that was that there were no holes on the outside to show where the ring mechanism was, because it's all on the inside, and I didn't have to cover that up. So it just gave it a much nicer look on the outside. And I love this thing. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I think you can find them still on the Daytimer website if you order them from Daytimer. But I always try to find everything on Amazon, and they did not have this one. I'm pretty sure I purchased this one from eBay, though, used. But Amazon does have the exact same one, and I think it was around $30. But it is not leather, but it is exactly the same on the inside. Everything, the amount of card slots, this holder here, the zip pocket, the back, it's all exactly the same. The big pin loops, all of it. So if you're interested in that, you can buy that. If you're leery about cutting into your leather, or messing with your leather, that might be a good option because it's not leather, and you can not feel so bad if you do mess up. So that's it. This is what I am using right now, and I may switch back and forth between these two because I do love this one so much also. Or of course I still have this one that I can go right back into if I want to. So I have all those options that will fit in this. I went through all of this simply because I wanted a book that would hold my Hobonichi Weeks without me having to cut it and to slice off the bottom part to fit into a personal size. So this just fits perfect. It's a perfect size. And there you go. If you have any questions, just put it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Please check out the blog post for all of the resources, everything that I used to make these, modify these, where I bought these, all the inserts I have on the inside. You can see a listing of all of that on the blog post, and I will link that below. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.